Procrastination is like a door in a door frame because you have to open the door to get through, right? Obviously. But procrastination is a little bit different. The door always tries to close in on itself. Anytime you try to open it, it tries to close itself back. And the harder you push against it, the harder it's going to push back, right? And you can try to half ass it. You can try to barely open it, try to squeeze in, but it will not let you. It will not let you try to squeeze in and try to barely get through. You have to commit to opening the door, even if that means charging into it and only deciding that you have to get through the door, committing yourself to getting through that door. And the easiest way you can do this in actual real life is to commit yourself. It's to commit yourself to actually get rid of procrastination. And commitment means that you have no other choices. And so let's take this practically. If you commit yourself to stop procrastinating, right? You're maybe procrastinating right now, even. By committing yourself, that means you're getting rid of everything else and you're only doing the thing that you're procrastinating on. That's what commitment is. You're getting rid of every other choice you have everywhere else and you're just doing it right now. That's what commitment is. And so if you try to half-ass it, right? Just think of an example in your head. You feel like you're procrastinating. You don't really want to eat healthy today. You kind of want to eat junk food. And you've been procrastinating, like, oh yeah, I'll just eat the healthy food later. I'll just eat some like, snacks right now. I'll cook the food later. And you pull out your phone because you have the choice. You have the choice to pull out your phone, and so you do. And then 2 hours goes by without you even realizing they did. Right? Because you had a choice, more likely than not, especially if you're procrastinating, you're gonna do a bad choice. And so choice is extremely important. But in this one specific scenario, you have to commit yourself to having no other choices. You can't decide to go on a walk because you don't feel like, eating healthy. Like even if going for a walk is good, in the moment it feels easier than actually doing the thing you're procrastinating on. And so you're still procrastinating even if it feels productive or healthy. And one of the best tactics that I can tell you, but it only works if you actually follow this advice, you have to commit yourself. No other choices, is boredom. I'm not joking. You just sit down somewhere. Not even sit down, you can stand if you want. Lay down, it doesn't matter. And don't do anything. Don't pull out your phone. Don't like try to have some nice thoughts or anything. Just sit there and stare into a wall. Like essentially looking at paint dry. Because you're doing this, you're bored, right? That's just a given. Being bored is uncomfortable. I don't want to be bored. You don't want to be bored either because you're on YouTube. But because it's so uncomfortable, it almost makes actually taking action so much easier. And so by you being bored, by you just sitting down and staring into the wall looking at paint dry, you actually start to feel like maybe just taking action is easier than doing this. But it only works if you actually commit yourself. So if you half-assedly say, "Oh yeah, that's a nice strategy. Let me try it." You try to do it, and after like a minute or two, you pull out your phone and start scrolling. Like it's not gonna help you. It can only help you if you actually fully decide that I'm either going to sit here and be bored, or I'm just gonna go ahead and start it. Genuinely, it could maybe even take you like 10 minutes, half an hour, while you're just sitting there like trying to pump up yourself to actually start. But this method makes it so that you eventually have to start. Like you're not just gonna sit staring at a wall for hours. No one's gonna do that. And it just makes it so much easier to take action. But it only works if you actually commit yourself to only having those two choices. If you decide, oh, I can just eat lunch while I stare into the wall, it's not gonna work. Only two choices, only two. And if you can actually get into that mindset of I can either only be bored or I can actually just start, it will make it so much easier to start because being bored is it's such an uncomfortable feeling. But it can only work if you actually commit yourself to it.